Like the afternoon. It wasn't late at night. Not yet. Más preguntas? Yes. No. That's what a Q&A needs, is Mr. Question. Thank you. Sure.
One.
Yes.
What's the worst that Chris Sabat has pranked you, and how have you gotten him back?
Okay.
And two, you have a habit of spouting off some pretty good life advice, so I was wondering if you just had any mantras or things you constantly tell yourself as you're going through life.
Mantras, life advice mantras. First, Chris Sabat has never pranked me. If he did, it was something innocuous like I left my Facebook open at the studio and then suddenly I was listed as like a lesbian with Melissa McCarthy as my lover or something. You know, stuff like that. Just regular stuff. But in terms of, mantras, it's interesting that you say mantras. Like, when you are acquiring language, when you are using your voice, when you are starting to exist in this world, when you begin this video game, whatever it is, everybody kind of tells you who you're supposed to be. I mean, don't you feel that? Like everything around you is telling you who you're supposed to be. They've done these experiments, and it was experiments between mothers and children and puzzles, doing puzzles. And as it turns out, and this has been something that I've learned to sort of look for in my life. I know it also from how I learned math. And I learned math from my brother, Mike, my older brother, Mike. And what they said in this scientific experiment was that the thoughts you have in your head, the thoughts, the talking that happens in your head, like a lot of it, a great proportion of it, is phrases or sentences you didn't create yourself. When they had these mothers with children teaching them how to do puzzles, so they would record the sessions where the mothers were teaching the children how to do puzzles, and then they let the children grow up, and then they let the children do puzzles when they were older and asked them to speak their thoughts, and they would speak verbatim quotes as they were thinking of how to do the puzzle. Verbatim quotes from the first time they were taught how to do the puzzle. So the mother said, you separate all the corner pieces, and then this is how you do the edges, and you look for the squiggly things that fit. Like the exact words that the mother used teaching the child were the thoughts, or what the children later on thought were their own thoughts in their head. And so you can apply that to like your whole life. And I know from learning how to do addition, or subtract, I can't remember what it was, but the phrase in my head was, you put that there and carry the one there. You put that there and you carry the one there. And so I had that phrase in my head, and it's the exact words my brother used when he was teaching me. So we use words with each other. We give each other thoughts. We give each other mantras. We give each other ways of thinking about ourselves all the time. Oh my God, you're loud. Your voice is terrible. It happens a lot with our voice, because when we're young, we're learning to use our, like, wouldn't it be stupid? Like, you learn to walk at a certain age when it's still cute. And then you learn to sing later on, and at some point, not singing perfect becomes not cute. And people are like, oh, your voice is terrible, stop it, right? But you would never go up to a toddler trying to walk and be like, you're a stupid walker, you can't do it, right? Because you wouldn't do that to a baby. But we do that with people's voices later on. You're too loud, you talk too fast, you talk too slow, whatever it is. So we get these mantras from other people. So when you start with mantras, like, it's important to listen to what you say just prior to stressful situations. Just prior to you feeling like, oh, I'm feeling stressed. Like, or if you can rewind, if you can rewind to like 10 seconds or 20 seconds right before you feel overwhelmed, you'll probably hear a phrase that's a lie. You'll probably hear a phrase in your head like, you're never gonna do it, or you're too stupid for that, or whatever it is that, oh, everybody's gonna hate you, or oh, you're never gonna follow through. Like, you'll hear something, some phrase that isn't yours. And so then you replace that with something you want to create, like a phrase, a mantra you want to use, like, I'm perfectly comfortable with failing, so I embrace the idea of failure as the progress towards success. So I try to fail every day. I'm comfortable with failing every day. I'm comfortable with not doing it perfectly. Like, I release myself from the idea of perfection, because there is no perfection. You can't be perfect. You're never going to do it perfectly. A lot of people think that they are going to do something in the future, right? Like, in the future, I'm going to do that awesome thing, and all I have to do is figure out the right way to not make mistakes so that I can do it properly and succeed. When the truth is, the best way to succeed is to go, like, fail at whatever you want to do as quickly as possible. If you want to be a brain surgeon, just start carving into heads. No, I'm kidding. But you just go for whatever it is you want to do and make those mistakes as quickly as possible, and then succeed after the mistake. And the only success you need after a mistake is to stand up and try again. There is no other, there's one other component, but you have to go fail, and then the only success you need is to stand up and try again. But you need to try again a little differently, a little more effort, a different attack on it. And this works for puzzles, it works for fixing your car, it works for getting a girl, it works for finding a career. Make the mistake, and then the only success you need after that failure is to stand up and try again. And then adjust how you try. Adjust the way, just change one little thing. Like, okay, I tried that way, let me try one slightly different way. And usually you should try again the same way, because sometimes it just happens that it didn't work out. Yes?